All right, let's just jump right in. Today, we are unpacking one of the most dynamic and honestly misunderstood signs of the zodiac, Gemini. We're going to explore their whole story, their personality, and all those fascinating contradictions that make them who they are. In our guide for all of this, a short but really insightful poem.
You know, if you want to understand a Gemini, it all boils down to this one simple phrase: one mind, two worlds. And look, this isn't just some pretty poetic line. No, this is like their core programming, their operating system. Everything, and I mean everything we're about to talk about, comes right back to this idea: one single mind, but two totally different, vibrant worlds living inside it.
Okay, so where do we even begin? Let's start with the big puzzle, right? The riddle of the twins. I mean, their symbol seems so straightforward, but it's actually hiding this huge paradox. And that paradox, it's the key to unlocking everything about them.
Think about it. For most of us, when we see a contradiction, our first instinct is to try and fix it, right? To make it make sense. But for a Gemini, that contradiction isn't a bug, it's a feature. It's literally what defines them. This whole internal duality thing, that's what makes them so incredibly adaptable, so curious. It's why they can see things from all these different angles at once. Honestly, it's their superpower.
And you've probably seen this in action, right? One minute, a Gemini is the absolute life of the party. I mean, they're lighting up the entire room with their jokes and laughter. And then bam, it's like a switch flips, and they're completely quiet, off in their own world just thinking. And you might think, wow, they're moody. But it's not really moodiness. It's just the other twin stepping up to the mic for a bit.
So, because they're always in this state of flux, the poem points out that their true colors, their real nature, can be almost impossible for other people to pin down. Just when you think you've got them all figured out, they'll show you a totally new side of themselves you had no idea was even there. It definitely keeps you on your toes, that's for sure.
Okay, so that's what they look like on the outside, but what's going on inside that makes them that way? Let's dive into their inner world, into that incredibly active, super curious, and always on-the-move Gemini mind.
So, what's the fuel for this complex engine? It's simple: an absolutely unstoppable thirst for knowledge. Geminis are like information sponges. They just soak it all up. And they're driven to learn and connect dots that, frankly, nobody else even sees. For them, learning isn't just a hobby. It's like breathing. It's a fundamental need.
And this drive for knowledge, it's powered by what the poem calls a changeable mind, basically a restless mind. Their thoughts are never still. They're constantly jumping from one interesting topic to the next. It's a mind that pretty much never turns off, which is a huge part of why they're so adaptable and so incredibly quick on their feet.
So, what do you get when you have a restless mind that's also starving for knowledge? You get someone who is always searching for something new. New ideas, new people, new places to go, new things to discover. For a Gemini, literally every single moment is a chance to learn something new, to feed that constantly active mind of theirs.
All right, but all that mental energy has to go somewhere, right? It can't just stay bottled up inside. So how does it all come out? Well, that brings us to our next part, the magic of Mercury. You see, their ruling planet, Mercury, gives them a very specific and very powerful set of tools to work with.
And this is what we can call the Mercury effect. Mercury is the planet of communication, and it blesses Geminis with a serious gift for language. I'm not just talking about them being good with words or articulate. No, the poem calls it a literal magic in their speech. It's this natural ability to just enchant you with what they say. And get this, their way with words can be so powerful that the poem says they can actually make others lose control. Now that speaks volumes about their incredible power of persuasion, doesn't it? They can totally command a conversation, pulling you into their world with nothing but their wit, their charm, and their intelligence.
So, let's put the pieces together. You've got this restless, brilliant mind, and you combine it with a literally magical ability to communicate. What happens when you drop that person into a social setting? Well, you get the ultimate life of the party.
Being an air sign, Geminis need freedom. They crave movement. The poem puts it perfectly, describing them as being free as the wind. You'll see them just flitting from one conversation to the next, from one person to another, sharing ideas and just soaking up all that energy. They absolutely thrive when they can be intellectually and socially free.
And this right here is where it all comes together. Seriously, walk into any party, and I bet you can spot the Gemini. They're the one at the center of the biggest group laugh, the true life of the party.
You'll also notice they kind of know everyone, right? They're like the social hub, connecting all the different groups of friends. But the real magic is that they are rich in conversation. They use that Mercury-powered charm to make every single person they talk to feel like the most fascinating person in the entire world.
And that brings us full circle right back to where we started. So when you're talking to a Gemini, with their personality that holds two whole worlds, a mind that is always on the go, and a charm that can reel in anyone, the big question is still there. Can you ever really, truly know a Gemini? Or are you just getting a fascinating little glimpse of one of the twins for now?